This is Mr. B, and I'm here to tell you the communications technology lesson of the week. Today, we're going to talk about camera shots, angles, and movements. The first shot that we're going to talk about is the long shot. With the long shot, the audience can see the whole body of a person as well as some surroundings. This is used to give room for characters to move. It can also show the isolation of a character. The second shot we're going to talk about is the medium shot. The medium shot is a shot where the characters are seen from the waist up. This is good for showing people interacting and conversing. The audience is more emotionally involved. The last shot that we're going to talk about is the close-up shot. Close-up shot is a shot where only a small part of a character can be seen, such as their head or hands. This engages the audience emotionally and is used to give emphasis to the character, not the background. Now we're going to talk about different angles that you can use when shooting a scene. The high angle. This is an angle that the audience looks down on the person to make the character seem small or vulnerable. Next up, we have the neutral angle, or also known as the eye level angle. This is most commonly used angle when filming a movie. It allows the audience to feel more comfortable with the characters. The last angle we'll talk about today is the low angle. With the low angle, the audience looks up at the character. This is used to make the character look powerful and to make the audience feel small and vulnerable. Now we'll talk about different camera movements that you can use when filming a scene or a shot. You can pan, tilt, dolly, and zoom when it comes to camera movements. Let's talk about panning first. When it comes to panning, it consists of a horizontal movement of the camera to shoot the film. So if the director was to tell you to pan left, you would pan left. If the director was to tell you to pan right, you would pan right. Next up, we have tilt. When you are tilting consists of a vertical movement of the camera to shoot the film. So if the director told you to tilt up, you would tilt up. And if the director told you to tilt down, you would tilt down. Let's talk about zooming. Zooming consists of making the things become closer or bigger, zooming in, or further, becoming smaller, zooming out. Don't zoom in too much because it usually looks awful, and please zoom slowly. Next up, we're going to talk about a tracking shot. It's one of my favorites. It's also known as a dolly shot. A tracking shot is a shot in which the camera is mounted on wheeled platforms that are pushed on wheels while the picture is being taken. Sometimes the dolly is on a stationary object and sometimes the dolly is on a moving object. It gives the audience the effect of movement. Take a look. Follow me, guys. Come on. This way. It looks like you guys made it. So the last thing that we're going to talk about today is the editing portion of making a film, or the transitions. Transitions are some of the most powerful and important tools available for use today. While there are many types of transitions available today, we're going to discuss the three most commonly used transitions in film and television. Those are the cut, the fade, and the dissolve. It's my hope that I give you a better understanding today of what these three transitions are and how they are used in the art of visual storytelling. Let's begin with the fade. There are two main types of fades. The fade in, which marks the start or the beginning of a sequence of a film, or the fade out or the fade to black, which marks the end of a film or the end of a sequence of a film. By fading into or out of black, the audience becomes aware that the focus is being moved from one scene to another. Alternatively, by fading out to black, then back in from black, one becomes aware of an apparent message or passage of time in the sequence. Let's move on to our next transition, which is a dissolve. A dissolve is another type of transition commonly used throughout film and television today. There are a number of types of dissolves, from a ripple dissolve to a cross dissolve. But the basic definition of a dissolve is to visually smooth transition between one or more shots or scenes that dissolves from one shot to the next. Finally, today we come to our third and most popular transition, the cut. The cut is probably used in 98 to 99% of the video transitions you see on television or film. And because it is so subtle and so quick, the cut can frequently be placed within a single scene to determine the scene's pace or simply what different shots the director wants to be seen on the screen. You see, the design of these transitions is to aid in the visual storytelling process without detracting from it. So if you're asking yourself, should I place a cut, a fade, or a dissolve in a certain part of a film, perhaps you should stop and ask yourself these questions first. First, ask yourself whether or not you need a transition. Then, From there, it's good to ask yourself what transition can help convey the message that you're trying to convey or possibly add visually. Third of all, what transition would you not want to add to your film? This is Mr. B, and that was your Communications Technology Lesson of the Week.